I told you I wouldn't make you wait long. Welcome back to the LOBLOLLY PINES Publishing Podcast. I'm KJ Duff, and in this episode, as promised, I'm going to be reviewing Andy Weir's sci-fi darling, Project Hail Mary. Yes, I made the conscious decision to read the book before watching the movie, but that did not stop me from imagining Ryan Gosling as Dr. Ryland Grace as I read. Before we go any further, just a reminder, if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up button and join the discussion by leaving a comment below. Let the almighty YouTube algorithm know you enjoy what I'm doing here, and please, if you haven't already, consider subscribing. Lastly, the absolute best way to support me is by buying my book, Halcyon Suicide. It's available in digital and paperback. Links are in the description below. Now, without further ado, let's dive into Andy Weir's Project Hail Mary. Dr. Ryland Grace wakes up from a long, deep sleep. He can't move. He can't speak. Worse off, he can't remember who or where he is. As he explores his surroundings, and as he regains bodily function and motor skills, little by little, he begins to remember details about his life. He's an American, he's single, and he's a junior high school science teacher. Oh, and he's millions of miles away from Earth, the sole survivor of a 3-man crew on a spaceship called the Hail Mary. He's on a desperate mission to save humanity from a rapidly multiplying microscopic organism called astrophage that is dimming the sun, threatening all life on Earth with a catastrophic new ice age and extinction. It's up to Dr. Grace to solve the problem and save humanity as he probes his mind to piece together the details of his involvement on the project and the science required to solve the problem alone. Or so he thinks. Oh? In summarizing the book, any book, my intention is not to spoil too much unless it's absolutely necessary. I know the movie came out months ago. I know it has been lauded up and down by critics and fans alike. It's the best sci-fi movie of the year so far, and I'm sure many of you listening have seen the movie. However, as of this taping, June 21st, 2026, I have not seen it yet, and I'm trying to approach this review as if you haven't seen it either. I wanted to read the book before I saw the film, and man, I am glad that I did. I haven't read many science fiction novels. I think the most recent one was The Three-Body Problem by Cixin Liu, and I apologize if I'm butchering the name. But The Three-Body Problem, it kind of left me confused. I know that objectively it is a good book, but I didn't enjoy reading it. It felt joyless and humorless, and I think that's going to be a word you hear me use often. I tend to treat novels like I do films, as a form of escapism. When I open a book, I want to be whisked away from my reality and get lost in a new one. From the first page, Project Hail Mary does just that. This is the first book I've read by Andy Weir, but I did watch the movie The Martian with Matt Damon, which is an adaptation of the novel by Andy Weir. The stories of The Martian and Project Hail Mary are somewhat similar. The main character is faced with an issue in space and must survive and solve problems using his extensive knowledge of science if he wants to succeed. With Project Hail Mary, Andy Weir employs the flashback method, effectively giving the reader new information just as Dr. Ryland Grace uncovers it himself, each flashback revealing more information necessary to the present plot, as well as information necessary to understanding who exactly Ryland Grace is as a man. This structure also helps with the pacing of the story because there is never, and I mean never, a dull moment. Dr. Ryland Grace is a great character. He's intelligent, he's funny, but most importantly, he's deeply flawed. That for me was vital in reading a book as dense as Project Hail Mary, especially when for most of the book, Ryland is by himself. The only time he interacts with human beings is through flashbacks as he regains his memory and uncovers details about the project he's on. But it's not just him. Ava Stratt, the international bureaucrat charged with overseeing the project from its inception to its conclusion, is seemingly fearless, precise, cold and calculating, which is what is needed when dealing with a crisis of such global scale. But she does so in a way that is sincere and earnest. In essence, Andy Weir does a fantastic job of making every character introduced well-rounded and memorable, even if their role is solely there to push the plot forward. It still serves to build out the world in which the story exists. Project Hail Mary is categorized as hard science fiction, which means the science and technology in the story are realistic, accurate, and follow the known laws of physics. To solve problems, the character must rely on their extensive knowledge of chemistry, astronomy, and physics to survive. The story certainly embodies the definition of hard science, but it is not as intimidating as you may think. Don't get me wrong, the science is hard. Science as a subject in school was never my best subject. I always enjoyed math and literature, but I think Andy Weir kept that in mind. The hard science is there, yeah, absolutely. But making the character a junior high school teacher means that after he spouts the hard science, he dumbs it down for us laymen. It was, and I mean this in the most sincere way possible, much appreciated. Also, it doesn't take anything away from the story. You understand everything in context. There's a problem, and he uses science to solve it, or at least attempt to solve it. What matters is the story and the illumination of the human condition. And ladies and gentlemen, the story is good. As a writer, we're told to put our characters through hell. If there's no obstacles for them to overcome, then you're just not engaging your readers. You want to put your readers through the emotional gauntlet along with the character they're following on this mad adventure, and Andy Weir does just that masterfully. At one point in the story, I looked up from the book and found myself desperately hoping that the characters survive. My heart just couldn't take a sad ending. This is how good writers make readers feel about fictional characters in a fictional world with fictional problems by manipulating our eyes using words, grammar, and punctuations. Isaac Asimov once wrote, "There is more to a science fiction story than the science it contains. There is also the story, and if the science it contains is bent because of later discoveries, or because the plot absolutely demands the bending, we tend to forgive and overlook." There are plenty of things in this novel that warrant forgiving, things that would make hardcore science fiction lovers bristle. But there is no denying that everyone can enjoy this book. Not only is it a fun read, but it's also endearing and heartwarming. And I'm looking forward to watching the movie, not just as a fan of cinema, but as a fan of this story. And that's a quick review of Project Hail Mary. Have you read the book or have you seen the movie? Either way, let me know what you thought. Leave a comment below and let's talk about it. If you are one of the rare souls who hasn't read the book or seen the movie, I recommend reading the book first. I promise you, you won't be disappointed, you'll never get bored, and if it helps, do what I did. Imagine Ryan Gosling as Dr. Grace. It makes the read that much more fun. Granted, it doesn't need any help. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Tap the notification bell to be alerted when I drop new reviews, and if you have time, go listen to my old ones. Also, again, the best way to show some love is by purchasing my novel, Halcyon Suicide. Links are in the description below, available in digital and paperback. I always appreciate any support you can give. You've been listening to the LOBLOLLY Pines Publishing Podcast. I've been KJ Duff, and hey, it's Father's Day. Go show your pop some love. Or, have a beer and watch the game in silence. Me, I'm gonna go get a free trial of MGM Plus, watch Project Hail Mary, and then cancel it. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned. I should say, anybody out there who is a fan of The Three Body Problem by Cixin Liu, I meant no disrespect to the story or anything like that. When I read it, it was good. I know that it's good objectively, like I said, but I didn't get it. I didn't understand it, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that I'm just stupid. So Would you attack a stupid person? Yeah, maybe you would.